I support him rather than returning it.
Sure. Why do you support him over Harris? Take it away.
Man, Harris almost had my vote, but once she's opened her mouth about someone asked her a question, what would you do differently if you was president? And she said, nothing. I'm not gonna do nothing.
And I agree with that because the question was in reference to COVID-19 and how they handled COVID-19. Um, yeah, she wouldn't do anything different if she could go back in time. The administration did pretty well, to be honest. They did a pretty good
Including
job.
including the gas prices and inflation. She wouldn't do nothing besides that.
No, we were the fastest G7 country to recover from inflation, so that was amazing on the Biden Harris part.
The Ukraine war, the Russia war. She wouldn't change nothing about that.
Uh, we couldn't have prevented the Ukraine and Russia war. Harris didn't start it, nor did Biden. It would have happened if Trump was president. So what's your point on that? Like they couldn't prevent it. I mean, even now, Donald Trump he isn't doing anything with it. In fact, he's like Putin's puppet, right? So I don't
But
understand what
but
your point is.
but my issue is I wanted to see change. I wanted to see at least some hope that something would be different. I didn't want to Biden 2.0. I mean,
Okay,
I'm
why
in it.
didn't you want Biden 2.0? I would rather I'd prefer Biden over Trump.
And Trump was yeah record low gas prices when he was his first term. I'd rather see that.
It's correlation causation, saying because it happened under his term, therefore it's his fault. Okay, he has high gas prices now. For it went up to $4 and 50 cents, the national average, and he had record high inflation in 50 or not inflation, record high unemployment. It's in 50 years in his first term. Does that mean he caused the record high unemployment? No, he didn't cause the
Yeah.
record high unemployment. It was COVID-19. It was a
But
pandemic that caused a record in unemployment. The same with gas prices. It was the Russia-Ukraine war. The same with inflation under Biden. It was COVID-19, and we were the fastest countries to recover from a inflation out of the G7 countries.
you know, my point is, I want to stop. Want people to stop talking about race and I don't focus on color and is you white, is you black. I wanted to get past all that and just live life and stop looking at color.
Sure.
I would
What's your
like
race?
half black, half white.
Sure. I mean, obviously, that's like a take that like I don't really understand, right? Because there's still discrimination, there's still oppression, right? So we do have to
But
talk about the inequality within America. So that's the point I'll never understand that people bring up. But the point is here: why would you pick Trump over Harris?
because he just, I'm just keep it blunt with you. He just looks more presidential. I mean, he looks like a president.
He looks like I'd argue Biden was more looking like a president. I'd argue Harris, compared to both of them, looked more like a president. What?
I mean, there's season. Here we go. Like
Did you see the
he,
2024 debate? She wiped the floor with him in a very like presidential way.
I'd argue the polls shifted to Trump's side after that debate, and then he
She
ultimately
wiped the
won.
floor with him. We're
He
eating
wiped.
cat. They're eating cats and dogs, bro. They're eating cats and dogs
I mean, a lot of people find that funny, and she's kind of boring.
because it's not true. They weren't eating cats and dogs.
But if she, why do you think she looks more presidential? Like, I don't. I'm not going to vote for someone just because she's the first woman president. She's black.
You should vote for her because she is the most qualified. You should have voted for her because she's the most qualified candidate. She worked in all three
Well,
branches of the government. She did tie-breaking votes as VP, right? And that's her job as VP. That's why you should vote for her because she was very effective with the Biden Harris administration, the passed the Chips and Science Act, Inflation Reduction Act, the PACT Act, the infrastructure bill, which Donald Trump tried to take credit for as soon as he got into office. By the way, and all these created hundreds of thousands of new jobs. It created revenue with billions of dollars into our economy, a private investment into American manufacturing, right? And as soon as Trump got in office, private investment into manufacturing down, revenue down, inflation up, GDP growth down, right? Our economy's in the shitter.
what state is he in?
What state am I in?
Mhm.
Arizona, but I'm talking on the federal level.
And it really depends what state you're in, because you see these trends, a lot of these Democratic run states like Gavin Newsom, he didn't do nothing with the Maui fires, and that's Kamala Harris' state. She
All red states except for like four, have increased unemployment.
so why? Let me ask you this: Why is why is everyone in Los Angeles moving to Miami? You
Why
know
is
why?
everyone not moving to Miami for different reasons? They can't afford it. They don't want to live in Miami.
No, no,
Family,
no, no,
different
no,
reasons.
no. Everyone in Los Angeles is migrating to Miami, to Colorado, to these Republican states because California is just
There's
too
people
expensive.
that leave California and there's people that move into California. Yes, what's your point?
My point is these Democratic run cities slash states is ruining people's lives. I mean, I got friends in Los Angeles that are
California
leaving
has the fourth largest economy in the world.
because they're raising prices. They're price gouging people out of their homes, out of their existence.
I would argue that yes, there's a housing crisis, but it's not just in California; it's everywhere, all across different states, all states actually.
I'd argue a house in Beverly Hills, that size, that square footage, everything, house like that in rural Texas.
What has Trump done that you support? Like, how is Trump making America better since he's gone into office?
If you want to, I mean, I didn't really vote for either candidate. I'm an independent. But
If you could go back in time, knowing everything you know now, who would you vote for? Trump, Harris, or not vote?
right now, it's really early to call. I want to see how this summer plays out. Yeah, I ran over last summer. It was looking good. I mean, I was satisfied with it. Wasn't
So, would you
perfect,
vote for
but
Trump, Harris, or not vote?
I'm on the brink of not vote to splash Trump.
Okay, so why are you leaning towards Trump?
I feel like a lot of the policies is just common sense.
Which ones?
Just take a look at transgenderism, LGBTQ.
Transgenderism isn't a thing. What about the trans individuals? What about them? What is he doing with about them?
Keeping men out of sports.
Men have never been in women's sports. No one supports men in women's spaces. You're the one who supports men in women's spaces.
Now, I'm talking about that case when that swimmer was a male and he defeated all the women. I
So
mean,
she,
she
yes.
that was
So
a
she's talking about
biological
trans women. I don't remember her name, but I've
biological
heard this
male.
argument so many times. So let's use correct pronouns. She, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm talking about the swimmer
Yeah,
that
that's
came in
a
like fifth. That came in fifth place. I believe her
no.
pronouns are she, her, if I'm not mistaken. So
That's
yes,
the
she's a
one that
woman.
was in first place, and studies show she's a
You're
biological
telling us,
male.
yeah, yeah. So she's a woman, not a man.
Might have to look that one up.
Would you ever support like a president if they went into like a woman's only dressing room as a man?
I see where you're going with this.
Would you? Like theoretically, if Biden walked in into like a woman's only dressing room and like perved on them, would you support him?
No, I don't bring up Trump doing that, because he didn't do that.
Would you support Trump if he did that though?
He didn't, but
If he
well,
did,
it would be very concerning for my
but
vote.
would you support him?
I go back to not vote. I take my Trump side
So
away and
so
just
you
vote.
wouldn't vote
I would not vote
if you
for
knew
him.
this for a fact. Okay, well he does. He has done this, so therefore you are no longer a Trump supporter.
Yeah, I'm in the middle, like I said. I didn't vote, but I'm leaning towards his side.
But you said you wouldn't be leaning towards his side if you knew for a fact that he sexually exploited women by entering a woman's only space, and he did this, so therefore you would not vote for him, and you wouldn't be leaning towards voting for him, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I need concrete evidence to the accusations.
Sure. Let's just listen to his own word of mouth, see what he has to say.
I don't see it as a. It could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later. Oh, I see. Tend to think about the conflict a little bit later
The
on.
question is, how can it not be constructive?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that. So you have done that. I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show. Yes. And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
You have to dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
I think I did hear that.
That's Trump admitting to sexually exploiting women.
He also said grab him by the pee. I don't think. I think you need to look past the past. It's fine. He said the N word as well. I mean, I'm not. That was a long time ago. I was wrong, but I mean, I'm not gonna judge him his whole character.
I mean, so first off, I think saying the N word is like bad. A, I don't think is there evidence of Biden saying the N word. B, if he did, horrible. C, we can't compare saying the N word to rape or sexual exploitation. Both are very bad, but you can't compare them.
I could argue he was in charge and he was.
Which is what makes it sexual exploitation. He used his position of power to sexually exploit these women, right? Which means you no longer support Trump. Yes.
I'm not going to completely not support him, but I support his policy. He's not the most moral person, I'd agree. But
okay, so you disagree with trans women being in women's spaces because you think that. Would you ever vote for like a trans woman to be president?
I'd vote for someone who would win. I don't think the majority of people would vote for a trans woman.
Like no, like would you vote for them? Like let's say they would win. Would you vote for them?
Honestly, probably not.
Why not? Because you think all like trans people are pedophiles, right? They're men walking into women's spaces. Is that why?
I don't. I just don't think it's. I don't think it's real. Like let me give you this. If you got any daughters you got any sisters or brothers?
Yeah, I got sisters.
So, what is love?
What is love?
What is love? Just define love.
I don't know the definition of love. What does that have anything to do with this?
Because if you had your sister walking down the road, she asked you, would I wear this dress? You knowingly know it would not get the same reaction as the majority of people would think it would. Would you lie to her? And so, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, probably, yeah. Like my sister asked me, like if what they're wearing like looks good, and I think it looks bad, like Loki, yeah. I'm like, sure, wear, why not?
So if you love these people,
that doesn't mean
so
like
much,
I don't love my sister. By the way, like let's say like I want to prank my sister, and like I tell her, okay, like sure, wear that, it looks fine, and then in reality, it's like the most horrible like outfit ever. Doesn't mean I don't love my sister. This is a horrible analogy. What? Like what you're gonna say here is like, oh, you think trans women aren't women? You think like being trans isn't real, and like you love these individuals, and therefore you're gonna like misgender them, blah blah blah, whatever. No, trans people exist. Being trans exists. Trans women are women, and trans men are men.
Of course, but I think we need to live in reality. I think we need to live in reality and not fantasy.
It is reality that trans women are women, and that is in reality.
Why not live in the body God gave you instead of mutilating your body?
I don't care what people do with their bodies, but trans women or women, that has nothing to do with what they do with their bodies. You can go through surgery or not. You would still be a trans woman or a trans man. You'd still be a woman or a man. It doesn't matter if you socially transition, physically transition, whatever you want. You'd still be a man or a woman.
Let me ask you this: what has transgenderism done for society? What benefit has it opposed? What benefit has it done?
Isn't a thing. What have you done for society?
I got an engineering degree. I got a job.
You got a job? Okay, trans
I'm,
individuals have jobs.
but
Such a
as
like
a
bad
whole,
argument.
but as a whole, what have transgender people done? Just like, let me ask you
Sure, what
this:
have white men
what
done as a whole? What have white men done as a whole?
there's a lot of white men out there, Mark Cuban, Elon Musk,
No, as
Andrew.
individuals as a whole, what have white men done to benefit society?
I don't really judge based on white or black. I based
What
on,
you judge based on gender?
I mean, most of society is built on men. Like, let's just be honest with you.
It's because of the patriarchy. Because white straight cis men oppress minorities like they always do. But sure, like trans individuals fight for their rights and the rights of others, right? If one group of individuals of minorities doesn't have rights, no one does. Right? Everyone
When
is harmed. So they
okay,
fight
okay,
for the rights. They fight for the rights of their own community and other communities, and they
but
advocate for minorities,
but
making America progress.
so you do all these surgeries. When is the exact point womanhood is achieved or manhood is achieved?
Sure, a woman is just going to be like someone who has a desire to be in accordance with some set of norms that typically align with like a male or female sex for man or woman. You don't have to go through surgery in order to be a woman or a man.
But why please others? Why do you have to show everyone that want to be a woman?
Again,
Why,
some people do socially transition, some people don't. It's based on preference.
what
Whether or
benefit?
not they transition socially or medically doesn't mean that they're any less of a woman or a man.
I don't, I don't think that really makes sense.
Why not? Why doesn't that make sense, man?
Just I feel like once when Adam and Eve came on Earth, it was man and woman. I think people should just go based off human history.
Okay, I mean like trans people have always existed, we see it in nature. But do you believe in like the Adam and Eve, like God made Adam and Eve? Do you believe like they were the first humans?
Yeah,
Okay, so then you hold to like incest, right? Because like Adam and Eve and their children had children and their children had children and so on and so forth, right?
he put them on Earth to reproduce.
Right. So
That's
but incest happened, right? Incest.
back then it was appropriate.
Okay, so incest, and then the same thing with like Noah's and his kids' wife. Their kids had kids, and their kids had kids with their kids and kids. But incest again. So incest twice. So that means if you want to go based on like historical human context, then you're okay with incest, right? Under your worldview, incest is okay.
Sure, that's what the Bible said. Reproduce. How
Dude,
else would
no, don't reproduce with your sister. What are you talking about?
and how would me and you be sitting here right now?
Because it's not meant to take literally. Like let's some perspectives are Adam and Eve. Yes, God created Adam and Eve, but He also created other people far away from Adam and Eve, and He created more people and more people and more people, and He just spawned humans. Are you literally saying that incest is okay and it's okay for you to have sex with your sister? Is that what you're saying?
Not in today's modern age.
You just said yes, though. You just said it's okay for incest to occur.
That's the only way to reproduce back then. Two people, four people.
No, currently, right now, under your worldview? If you want to base it on human historical context, you
Not right
think right
now.
now it's okay for incest? Okay, why not? If under your worldview it's historical human context, why is it wrong right now?
Because we have different cultures, different families.
Okay, so then being trans is okay under your worldview, even if you believe that trans people didn't exist, which they did, because we have different cultures and different families, right? So under your worldview, being trans is okay, the same way as like incest is bad, right?
If you want to use that analogy, could you could uh could a kangaroo identify as a dog?
So no, we're not saying that we could like change species, right? We're referencing humans. That's a
And
very
we, we're,
disingenuous
we're
question. We're also
we're
referencing gender. A kangaroo isn't a gender, nor is a dog.
we're both animals. Me and you are animals.
Okay, sure. We're referencing gender.
What is gender? Give me the definition of gender.
Give you a definition of gender? You don't know what is a dog a gender?
So sex is male and female. What is gender to you?
Yeah, gender is a social construct. In reference to gender and in reference
Ah,
to the identity of someone, the
so
gender identity of
a
someone.
social construct.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah.
So it was socially brought up to make people feel better about themselves, right?
Uh, Gender is a social construct, the same way as like race is a social construct created by white people
So we
in
agree.
Portugal. It wasn't
Make
made to make people feel better about themselves. No, that's like very like a dumb point.
I mean, back to what we were talking about Kamala Harris. I mean, I just think that people are just so obsessed with Trump and racist and
She's a
transgender.
racist rapist. Moving on to the next guest.